have reviewed the agenda and we'll proceed as presented. Is there any public comment from the previous meeting?
None.
Recognition and reports. For the trustees, we have the resignation letter from David Buttermilk. It says, "Dear James Capty, this letter is my formal resignation as a board member of the Eagle Public Schools effective January 13th, 2026. I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for the great privilege the board has given me to work and share experiences with the team. I truly learned a lot during my term, and I sincerely regret this decision. However, I've found that responsibilities of the board position have made it increasingly difficult for me to fulfill my obligations to my family and professional commitments. Therefore, I felt it was necessary to step down so I can devote my time and attention to those responsibilities. I will be glad to assist in the transition of my duties and responsibilities to another person. If you have any questions, you can call or email. Regards, Dave Buttermilk." Does anybody else have any trustee reports?
I actually signed up to go to bar training in Palm Springs in April. So
Nice.
I'll be going out there representing the school, and Stacy is going to go on behalf of the courthouse for the CIT stuff that she does with the school. So we'll both be out there that week.
Okay, great.
And I filed again. So
Anybody else have anything?
No, I just can't get this link to work when I click on it. I need to press something else.
Are there
a different click thing on it?
So will Tracy appoint somebody to take David's place?
No,
Call back.
we will.
Release.
Conference.
Pause for just a minute.
That's like one very simple thing that should.
I guess I'll try a different one. Maybe that one. No, none of them are working.
What?
Hey, can you come back for a second?
Can you ask about?
Tracy appoint somebody?
No, we, what's the proper word? The board will.
Well, it'll open for an appointment, so
Yes,
she, I mean,
we'll
she'll
appoint
know,
somebody.
she'll have to notify people also, but no different, so they'll have to still come in. Just like Rena did, and file for an appointment, and then if there's more than one, it will go before the board for you guys to choose on who will be appointed, and they'll be appointed now because it's missed the deadline for election, it will be appointed from now until next May for that election cycle.
So when's she gonna do it?
One, two,
Doesn't Tracy do it?
I think either one of us can post it.
What month will we?
Get a new person.
Depends on when somebody actually comes forward.
I'm very quick.
And then
So,
they will.
If that's the case, can it happen in March? Or
Yes.
does it? Okay,
Yes,
that's what.
if somebody gets in before, board packets. Then it'll start becoming an agenda item.
Anybody done anything yet?
I'm working with Christian.
Have I?
That's why
I mean, you haven't had anybody done yet.
I can't because it wasn't, you guys just started tonight.
No.
Yep. So now it will be publicly posted and then we'll probably put some on the paper and then we can. Or online, either source of.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thanks, Francis.
Thank you.
Download.
Download. You want sticky notes to put on that?
I do.
Here, also releasing it.
Superintendent report.
All right, so first off, the tax credit, another great job of working on that. We took that list from last year and reached directly out to people that did it last year and then it's a continual education process because people still don't totally understand how it works. Have people kind of after the fact be like, oh, so you have to live in Carter County. We're like, nope, you don't have to live in Carter County. You just have to have a business or pay personal income tax in the state of Montana. You can live wherever you want. But anyway, we captured $121,000 for our school again in that. So we're working on trying to get information out on tax day. I mean, the normal tax day, April 15th, and just so people start thinking about it. Next year, this year it was, well, let's back up. Last year it was gone in a little less than an hour. This year was gone in 7 minutes. And so schools are getting smarter about it, but on the other side of it goes up. So next year it'll be like 8.6 million. So that's another sizable chunk added to it. So doesn't mean it'll last a lot longer, but there's still opportunities for us that's just a great thing. And you look around the state, small districts, we've done very well on making sure we make those connections, but there's still opportunities there. So that's a good thing. Keep that in mind. Graduate profile on March 10th, April 7th. March 10th, Craig Behringer will be here from the state of Montana. He's the deputy superintendent. He will be here that day, as well as Julie McGill is in charge of the accreditation for the state. She'll be here just to take part in that, kind of discuss some things, but also just take part in that. We will be at the point that will be our second round of rough draft. So a little bit heavier pencil on this version of the rough draft. At the last meeting, we had a different kind of a mix of people again. So overall, we've had well over 60 people participate throughout the community, and that doesn't count surveying information. So it's starting to come together, and so I encourage all of you to block that on your calendar for March 10th, especially because there'll be a chance to ask questions as well that are, outside, I mean, different from having me answer them. So you just get a different perspective on those. The last one will be on April 7th. That will be the final rough draft. So that one will be hopefully a pretty quick one, but good to put the ink on that and then bring it to the board at the next board meeting. Jungle Book is coming on the 24th. And there was a little bit of a confusion with the basketball schedule. And so we thought that actually conflicted with district tournament. And all of that, it does not conflict with districts or divisionals. So 26, yeah, sorry, 26, you're right. And Thursday night, and so that is a full theatrical performance. And on the other side of that, we will give out, little kids will get books, big kids will get books. It kind of ties, not kind of, it does tie back into our reading focus. They're gonna get the Jungle Book, the Disney version, and the big kid version. Hunter's Education Day, just as an FYI, had a conversation with Andy Wright about having a Hunter's Education Field Day here. So it's like, yeah, it seems like a dazzling idea. And so the state of Montana reached out to me to see what days would work. The first day they gave us was Friday the 13th. I'm like, that just seems like a bad day to try to schedule something like that. But so it looks like it's going to be in March. We're still trying to work out the details on that. It'll be a Friday. We don't have school. Kids will have to fill out their facility use, but they'll use the junior high classroom down here, and then they can go right outside and do all the climbing over a fence, and they set up everything. Our intent here is to hopefully get our own certified instructor. Apparently Andy's wife hasn't doing too much in terms of taking care of yet. So we're gonna get that, and then we can provide that directly here. So I'm excited about trying to figure out a way to do that, whether it's for hunters or just for gun safety for our kids. We are working on a matching grant right now, and so different pools of money, but working on a matching grant to extend or modify our playground to kind of take into account A, some accessibility issues, but B, our big kids, if you will, not just our little kids. And so our playground is pretty well set up for the littles, but our bigs get left out a little bit, and then turns into kind of I don't know, a muddy ice skating, like a lot of trouble happening out there. So we will, there's some opportunities to get some pretty significant matching grants. We will also take that matching grant and go back to the county with that, with the other side of it that we can, because of the fair and all that stuff and kids there and how it accesses and how they can access that. So that's just one of those things that we're working on. Showcase learning. You're going to have to check your text message on this because staff had asked to change the date of that just because it was conflicting with some different things. And so I've not got to have the elementary voice their take on that. High school is pretty flexible to go kind of a lot of different ways, but they wanted to see where the elementary. And so just have to get that day shifted. Floor auction after the game on Friday. We will see how that goes. It's their once in a lifetime chance on a piece of the history of Carter County High School. So we will auction that floor. We will auction pieces off the center court, some of the lettering on it, and then we'll do 4x4, 3x3 sections. And if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, it's our floor to do what we want, but they will not tear the floor out after Friday. It doesn't come out till May, till after graduation. And so that's going to go on after that. We are working on floor designs, next piece of that going with the floors. And so I've talked to basketball, I've talked to Kayla about this and different things, but we're looking at, and talked to Bree as well, a floor that basically has zero or very, very little paint on it, has predominantly stain, so colored stain, whether it's blue or red or those things, but it'll still have the actual 1-inch lines. But majority of your issue with the floor and the part that costs you the money is refinishing that, whether that's a 5-year, 6-year, 7-year, 8-year process, is the paint. So if you can limit your paint, then well past the time probably any of us will be sitting here, that floor can hold up even longer if it's not being refinished every 5 years. If it's being refinished every 8 or 9 years, so we're gonna get those designs out, and we'll get those out so people can have eyes on them and see what they think and have some input and vote on that. Bar will be here. Brad is our coach. He will be here February 24th in the building with teachers again and kind of mixing and match. He spent most of his time in the building with the high school side. This time he'll have a chance to be with the elementary side. So that's exciting because the elementary has done a great job kind of getting things rolling and moving quickly with that. The Montana Learning Center Planetarium is coming the end of March. They're actually locking down the day that Plevna is going to be sending their kids here to partner with us on that to defer some of the costs. And we will open that up to the community as far as our country schools and homeschools as well. And so that's, we're excited about that opportunity for our kids. And the Constitution Road Show, that will be hitting our social studies classes. They're working out their travel, but not joking, maybe April 1st or April 2nd. My bad joke for the day there. So April 1st or 2nd, that will be headed this way as well. So.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can you clarify the date? Which one was it? The Jungle Book, is that March 26th or February?
February 26th.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll throw one more thing on there. We are looking at actually what is she? Ooh, maybe it must be March 5th. We're looking at hosting a wrestling duel here with Broadus, and they've been working out the different dates. We have a lot of kids wrestling, and so getting them a chance to wrestle here won't be a full-fledged wrestling meet. It'll be just a duel with them and be able to kind of showcase what they're doing as well. Maybe it's the fifth. I'll just double check on that. But came through my office today. We've been working on that for a while. And that's it.
Since you're here, do you have anything to add to yours?
I guess you guys have any questions? You guys want to look at some testing data?
Would you like to?
Yeah. No, super far.
Thank you.
So if you look, so this is gonna run from left to right. So the top, so we do 2 reading areas or reading tests per window. So it's literature, and then it's, oops, I messed up there. Oh no, literature's all the way across the top, and informational is the middle, and then math concepts. Understand when I say math concepts, they're doing 3 to 4 to 5 tests per window. So it's a little hard to break it down for you guys, so I just did it as a whole. So level 1 means we're below grade level expectations and may need extra support. Level 2 means close to meeting expectations but need some improvement. Level 3, meeting grade level expectations on track. So 3 through 6, we're averaging level 2. Then level 1, then level 3. Level 1 through 7, 8 is 16% level 1, 71%, and then 14. And then I did a total across the board. And then informational, I would say, looking just at the level 3s, we're probably testing better in informational reading. And then I would say math is definitely our strongest area. Here's like this. And Brittany asked me this question, and I don't know the correct answer to answer, but I don't know if this is, are these tests too mature for our young kids? Is that why we're seeing such low results in reading? Do we need to think curriculum-wise? Do we need something better that connects to this? Because this is what the state looks at on our performance. Is it, because if you look at this, our 7th and 8th graders did much better than our littles. And it significantly got better the higher we went. So I'm hoping window 2 looks better, and maybe I just didn't do a good enough job of introducing it to them enough and showing them the tools and how to use the tests. Are we just clicking through? I don't know the answer. Because I would say as a classroom teacher in grade 3, 4, and 5, my kids are performing better than this. So I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but there's some things to kick around. So, if you guys have any questions looking at this data?
When do these happen throughout the year?
So window 1 happened from, I have to go back to look specifically, like October to December.
Okay.
And then window 2 we've already started, it ends March 6th. And then we will do another window at the end of the year. So.
I would jump in here on what Carol said too. I think she's right. The classroom teacher has a good feel on that. But when you are looking at one data set, that can be deceiving, and could be a lot of those things that she said, like they raced through it, they didn't. So especially on our reading side, as we move into, finish this year but into next year, our reading data will be much more triangulated in the sense that we'll have multiple data points to know where they're at, how, at different points before they ever get to this. So I do think it's important this is a snapshot, but this is like, I guess I would say this is kind of like using, I'll joke because Brittany has an iPod. It's like taking a picture with my phone, taking a picture with her phone, taking a picture with your phone. They're all gonna look a little different. And so we kind of lay them across, what are the details we see? So this is one picture. And so we have to keep that in mind.
Well, and understand, so the way that we switch this up is, I shouldn't say we, the state did, is these are much smaller tests. So you take, the reading ones are like 20 questions, right? But there's 2 of them, okay? The math tests are around, I think mine just finished one and they had 11. Sometimes they vary between 8 to 11. Now, if you were to look at MAPS data, is this because we're just more familiar with it? I feel like our MAPS data indicated that we were performing higher than this. So like he's saying, we have to remember that this is this because it's new? It's different? Is it because we're looking at smaller amounts of data, chunked at a time? Do we need to look at it as a whole? Do we need to look at it across the board as a total and say, okay, we've got, and I understand these are in thirds where our maps are in fifths, like a scale of fifths, but do we need to look at it as a whole to maybe get a better picture? Rule of thumb, you need 3 points of data across the board for every subject area. So, take this with, kind of a grain of salt. This doesn't look amazing, but I would be interested to see as we go through this and finish out the year, will we get better because we're more familiar with it? So,
Time will tell.
time will tell. And I do I know Stefan got a letter from me, Sam would have, you would have, but I broke it down so it'll be a little more user friendly when the results come in. I did send it to Bree and I said, as a parent, I want you to just look at what they're wanting me to send home versus, so if you hear good feedback or people are still confused what that looks like, and I could show you an example of kind of what I did, but I'm hoping that parents are able to understand a little better. We can sign them up there's an online parent portal, but to me, the stuff they want me to send home isn't user friendly. I can't imagine the online portal's gonna be much easier. Because it's hard to understand what we're looking at essentially. So I just gave a letter with every test they did and the level that they sat at. So parents would say, okay, I know my kid's doing really well with place value, but we're really in a low level on, one of mine was adding fractions. So.
Well, and I will say we're in the process of working to create some sort of data dashboard that puts it all together. And so there's a gentleman out of Reed Point that was a board member and hated being at board meetings and looking at data that made no sense. And so he's kind of one of those people that just likes to hack away on that. So looking at kind of a long-term trend is more important whether you're looking kind of at a budget or looking at kids' data, we want to look at like, okay, first and second, and then there's a big drop. Okay, well, we're seeing another drop with another third grade. Okay, so is that a curriculum issue? Is there something in the structure of the day? The data first off should help our staff ask really good questions about, okay, what's playing out here? We don't ever want the data to be something that is like a defense, like I'm going to be defensive about it. So that's what it's got to be used for, to be like, okay, we've seen this drop here, how do we deal with that trend? And I do think some of the things that Carolyn and the group in third, fourth, and fifth are doing is altering the data in a very, very good way, but it's not going to show up on one spot.
What does that look like purple-wise? Because all of our data has our kids' names on it. What is that?
Because we can scrub kids and we can go to, but.
So he won't necessarily, he or she, excuse me, the miners just give him data's name. But is it names will be just covering our butt there?
For sure.
Because that is, yeah, anyway. So if you guys have any more questions, I don't have much more. I'll do the same thing for you guys. And maybe do a side-by-side comparison and then maybe do a as a whole so far and see if maybe we are seeing some better results. I mean, this is the easiest, I mean, do you guys feel like this is user-friendly so you understand what you're looking at?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I'll maybe, at the end of the year, we can maybe look at maps versus this and kind of see, I can do some bar graphs and stuff.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, with-
just because, like I said, our kids are really familiar with maps. They hate them because they're long. But, and I give a really big spiel about these. They're really important. They give our school money. They don't need to know the whole logistics of it. But they're like, okay, I gotta do really good. But, I mean, so,
Yeah.
unless you guys have any more questions, I think I'm,
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
thanks guys, have a good night.
You too, don't forget to
It's Dallas's water boy.
Mm.
Right, is there any public comment on non-agenda items? Public comment? Public comment? I have to ask it twice, so just so you know. Old business, storm damage.
Can we talk on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Tyler with McKinstry got us back the change order that's attached. He said he is confident in the repairs being done in the same timeline because they will, the contractors are gonna be on site this summer, so they'll just stay and do storm damage at the same time. They came back with the exact same prices that Jeremy had in it, and so the only thing is Jeremy was out of town, and so I do not have MSGA's approval. And so our recommendation would be to approve it pending the approval from MSGA, because you have to have theirs, because they'll be the ones reimbursing for the claim. And so
Okay, what is that? Sorry.
MSGA is our property insurance.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. So he did tell me that he got it, but he did not have time to review it since he was on the town before, so. But where it's the same exact price, I wouldn't imagine that it would be an issue, and they're using Montana contractors that are already approved on their other project, so.
I think that it would be really nice to use the same people that are going to be here working on the projects.
And my other thought is it's probably, even if you go with another contractor, you may gain a month of lead time, but really you're not gonna gain much lead time for trying to get stuff done now that we're already in February.
Is there any board discussion?
Well, I had just a question about insurance, but I think you answered it.
Yeah.
They're gonna send this and they're gonna approve it. So will we have any out-of-pocket
Just
expenses?
whatever our deductible is.
Okay, just that.
Yep.
Okay. And then question on the breakdown where it has everything broke down by category on the bond/insurance. What's that? That amount?
I'm wondering if that was the one that was an overlap. So Tyler said that there was one piece in here, and I apologize, I was out of town when he called me. So I didn't get a chance to look at it. He said there was one piece that was, also already getting repaired within it. The gutters, maybe?
So that's what that means.
I think that's an overlap.
It's an overlap. Okay.
Insurance, maybe that's not what it was. The gutters were from one school to the next school. They were on the wrong school on here. That must not be what it is. I wonder if it's the insurance that they have to carry for it.
That could be.
That's what it is. Yeah, they can't put the gutters on. The gutters, I think he said, were listed as high school, but there are gutters in the high school, but there's also gutters in the grade school that were listed under the wrong school.
And so the schedule for the projects for the bond, this won't interrupt that at all. Everything's still on schedule. This is just adding them in.
So they'll just stay here longer because that contractor isn't here for the full scope of the bond project, so
Okay.
they'll just stay an extra length of time and stay mobilized here and work on it.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Is there any public comment? Public comment? Any other discussion or motion?
I'll move to approve the change order proposal with McKinstry
Pending.
pending insurance.
I second that.
Thank you, Brittany.
Mike made the motion to approve the change order proposal with McKinstry for the storm damage repair pending insurance approval. Rena second that motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Mike made the motion to approve the change order proposal with McKinstry for the storm damage repair pending insurance approval. Rena second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Second reading of 3665.
Just the same as works that they did last time. That's just, student safety, clarifying terms and who and when, what the in-transit absence, school-sponsored activities, all those things mean, as well as, who has to be fingerprinted. Last time we didn't have any changes on that, so.
Any discussion? Any public comment? Public comment? Motion?
I move to approve the second reading and adoption of policy 3665.
I'll second that.
Sam made the motion to approve the second reading and adoption of policy 3665. Stefan second the motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Sam made the motion to approve the second reading and adoption of policy 3665. Stefan second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business, and we move to classified hiring.
All right, so we had position open for the daycare aide. We had 2 people apply for that position. Haley and Rena and myself made up that committee. We interviewed both those candidates last week, and the recommendation is to hire Xander Ashbrook as the daycare aide and also to hire Jeannie Molinovsky to the substitute list as well for the daycare.
Any discussion?
I had Xander as a babysitter when he was 16, I believe, like 16.
15 or 16.
And, no, he was 16, he has driver's
Yeah, he
license.
has.
So, and he did great. He's high energy and good for little kids. Like, you can keep them entertained. I didn't know I should leave him at my house alone with Cooper and Ryder when they were younger. They didn't fight when he was there, so that was a plus. Yeah, so I'm behind this 100%. So
Any other discussion?
that, and he also has 2 little baby nephews, so he's good with babies too.
Is there any public comment on this one? Public comment? Is there a motion?
I move to approve the classified hires as presented.
I second that.
Stefan moved to approve the classified hires as presented. Phoebe second motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Stefan made the motion to approve the classified hires as presented. Phoebe second the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
I abstain.
Motion carries.
Depending on full pass, otherwise we fall.
Extracurricular.
Next one, we have our high school track coaches. Nick and Coco did a great job last year, and they can want to continue in those positions, and so we recommend to hire Nick as our head coach, and Ms. Hamill as our assistant coach.
Any discussion? Public comment? Public comment? He's gonna get tired of me looking at him. Is there any other discussion or motion?
I move to approve the extracurricular hires as presented.
I'll second that one too.
Sam made the motion to approve the extracurricular hires as presented. Phoebe second the motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Sam made the motion to approve the extracurricular hires as presented. Phoebe second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Chaperone edition.
Based on the policy we just enacted, the recommendation is to have the chaperone added to our chaperone list, just so that in the moments, whatever it may be, whether it's in an elementary classroom or at a dance or whatnot, that she is officially, I guess, legal to be in a spot where the kids are, so.
Any discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Is there a motion?
I move to approve the chaperone edition as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Stefan made the motion to approve the chaperone list addition as presented. Sam second the motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Stefan made the motion to approve the chaperone addition as presented. Sam second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Audit contract.
So we are currently not in contract with Whitley. We did a 1 year one quickly last year to try to get through because we were still playing catch up with previous years before that. And so I requested a 3 year, which in the past we have had 3 year contracts with Whitley, and the price isn't going down. So I feel like they have to essentially lock us in for something and not get us stuck in a situation. So what you see there would be on the second page of that is year 1, year 2, year 3, which takes us through last year. So FY25 is up to come and do, and if this is approved, they're set to come in May and do it. And then for 2 more subsequent years, financial audits.
And those prices in the back of here is what it would be.
It's on the second page.
Okay.
It's right on the back.
I'll
It
find it. I was
says
looking
2A.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so 30,000, 30,400, 32,300, 34,300, which, if you guys remember, I did put out an RFQ for them last year to get other bids, and I didn't get any others back, which is pretty standard across the state. We're pretty short on school auditors right now, and so everybody that has theirs pretty much has to keep up. It may not get anybody else. And it's required.
Do good.
Yeah. It's been nice, like even through the bond stuff and through closing different accounts. I mean, I can pick up the phone and call them and get any answers that I need, so it's not a fun process. I'd like to not do it every year, but it goes.
And it's almost, on a separate note, it's like something that as the state continues to look at the funding model, it's an expense we, it's just stupid that we have to incur, like,
That's a full-time staff person.
but we want to make sure to do that for transparency to the public, but it's crazy that we have to spend $90,000 on it with no reimbursements.
Any discussion? Public comment? Public comment? Any discussion or motion?
I move to approve the 3 year contract with Whitley as presented.
I second it.
Mike made the motion to approve the 3-year contract with Whitley as presented. Rena seconded the motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Mike made the motion to approve the 3-year contract with Whitley as presented. Rena seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Informational.
So I did change it a little bit and put a cover page for all the informational. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I feel like I was adding a lot this time. So the election update trustee and filing ended today at 4 p.m. I'm happy to announce that we do not have to run a trustee election. We will cancel that next month formally by acclamation because we had one run for District 2. Thank you, Phoebe. And we have one run for District 15, which was Mike. So at this point, we'll cancel the election because Dave falls outside of that. That will be the appointment. And then OPI is supposed to have preliminary budget data sheets out by March 1st. So hopefully by the March meeting, I will have an update if we were wanting to still run the general fund or if we will cancel the election as a whole. So remember that all that is left is if there is an overbase in the general fund, mainly for the elementary. I'm not worried about the high school. There being money this year. I think there was $5,000 we didn't run for, just because it's not worth it. So you figure the election alone, outside of paper and envelopes, the stamps, what are stamps now, 70-some cents. So it's at least $1,000 in stamps because there's 800 and some electors and it's 2 stamps to every elector. Just because the one going out and the one that comes back. So just remember that cost as we look at the potential for running the general fund one, but we'll see what it brings us. March when we get those budgets.
Thank you.
Yep.
So the next piece on there, again, informational for you guys, having legal or that, but the MOU from public health going forward, and so our agreement for what they do, so we'll bring that back after they look at it. But,
I have a question about that. Okay, so I read through it. I guess what is the purpose of the agreement? Like,
where's what?
what's the purpose of the agreement? I mean, like, I read through it, but is it something that's needed?
They wasn't at a point in time when they wouldn't come in and do something because there was no agreement to
That was the
protect
lice
them.
checks.
Nice. Okay.
So right now we don't have anybody checking like immunizations coming in. And so
Okay.
that is the one thing that's for somebody to check immunization records, if they do put on plans, or we have the policy if they need to sign the
Exemption.
There you go, the exemptions, but right now none of that's been tracked for the last few years. And so
Okay.
there is also a state report that, I don't know if they're just not doing more that I had to do the first couple of years that I was here that showed what our vaccination requirements or records were. So I know that's one part of it from Misty's perspective, that
Sure.
it's hard to play school nurse and know.
And this is no cost to us. It's just to be formal
Correct.
and be in compliance.
Yes.
Okay.
When I asked Stephanie about a cost, she said that they would handle the supplies needed and the nurse to be there, and then we would cover the space and the building, electricity, and so it was kind of
Sure.
an agreement.
Okay.
I think it was more to protect them when they're doing whatever they're
Something
doing.
here.
Yeah.
And also our
Not
record
too
keeping,
bad.
so it's actually
Right.
saving us money.
Yeah.
Because we're not chasing the book.
Yeah, that was my question about that. And then I believe under agreement number 1, it does require parents' permission, otherwise I'm assuming that would like violate HIPAA. If they would be releasing records that the parents don't sign off on. Or is there like
For
a-
vaccinations.
That's what I'm wondering. We need to look at that. I know it
See what's
talks
on
about parents were
Well, there's a section, one of
communication
those,
to parent legal guardian. And maybe it's different because it's a requirement.
I was gonna say, I wonder, if it's on, you know what I'm talking about, there's a chart, one of those policies that says all the things that can be released without parent.
Right, that's what I'm wondering if we need to look at that.
And I can potentially ask, I know Baker has a, MOU with their health department, because they came in and did all of our vaccination stuff.
Okay, yeah, that would be worth asking
Thank
them
you.
what they do, I think. Those are all the questions I have on that.
Anybody else have any questions? ITM?
So that process, it's gonna take a little time, but we presented some ideas back to them. They're gonna look at exactly where the space, how it will work. And just, it'll take us, if I was optimistic, which I am very optimistic, I believe we will have a contract possibility before summer. Especially based on all the activity that's gonna go on in this town over the next year. Yeah, I think that'll be realistic that we'll have something to approve or not. I did sit down with Branson, we looked over the parking lot as far as looking at all the pieces that Sam brought up at the last meeting. I also talked to Georgia and visited with Brooks. I also talked to Neil and had them look at the parking lot, look at what their options were as far as safety, security, all those things. And so I've gotten a lot of input on it just to see, make sure we're not missing something. So now we'll get down to kind of some of the nuts and bolts to see what happens. So.
Is this have to do with getting the CD out?
No.
ITM,
Oh, she's
it's
not
like
listening.
Oh,
ATM, an ATM.
Oh, okay, now I know what yeah, I read that.
That's
Okay.
not the thing.
The ITM really threw me off for some, I'm like, what are you talking about?
and I actually got a little clarification just on that simple piece. So like, it is absolutely a big ATM, but just an ATM unless you hit the button and then like the TV turns on and the lady from, I don't know, Mouse City or whatever pops up if you're doing, you got questions or you got that. Otherwise, it is
An ATM.
fancy ATM. So.
Gotcha.
All right. Going on?
Yep.
Okay, Club America, this was, on February 4th. The superintendent sent this to all the schools, on that same day. Energy and Forte had talked about, encouraging schools to have a Club America chapter, as far as a civic engagement, student club, all those things. So that just wanted to make sure that is an option, just like any other club for our kids. We have to have somebody, a student or a group of students and come forward and want that, but it's available and an option out there, but just want to make sure that you guys have that in front of you and know that it's an option and we'll be respectful of the governor and the superintendent and that front.
Athletic revenue requests.
This is what was requested last time to see the revenues from the different fundraisers. And so the only thing I got to thinking about after I did this was I put under the expenses on here for car, that was just the cost of the car itself. And there was a little bit in the supply line for fuel when we took it to the car shows. So if I need to break that out, I can, but there is some in that supply line that is car show fuel. Other than that, you can see the revenues versus the expense for, like, football game raffle, there wasn't an expense. The car raffle, obviously there was. The hats and football kit got put in together, so if you guys remember the football kit got hats in, there was no expense for that. The Bulldogs was the popcorn and trail mix, and then activity passes, there's obviously no expense, and gate, there's no expense, or dog bones. Hopefully those are the three that are getting us the money for the refs and the travel and that kind of stuff.
Thanks for doing that. It's nice. It's really nice to just be able to see it side by side.
I did have a question on the car. The car did great. Made lots of money for the athletics fund, but my concern with like it traveling is if something did happen, I'm sure the cost of the car was covered, but what about any additional, like the profits or the tickets that were turned in and all that kind of stuff? Like,
So
that was my only concern with it, seeing it at football games and going car shopping and seeing it. It's like, how much is that covered? Is it covered for $50,000 or the value of the car? Like,
So we, the good part about the way we set up tickets, it was kind of mixed two different things as we walked through that process. We had the tickets so that we could reimburse tickets. And so we had, I want, the majority of them were sold online, but we had a lot of them sold in person. So we had that cash. I mean, we could have had our online ones. That was one of my first questions when we worked with Zephy was like, okay, my first question was, if we don't get to this point right here, can I refund that? And I said, absolutely. So then it was like, okay, if something, I don't know. I've been, based on last year, I was more worried about like weather and different crazy things happening as well. What was our angle to make sure that all sides were protected?
So we were covered no matter what. That was,
That's good.
It's not gonna be fun to be all the cash transactions, but we did have, but we had phone numbers for every single person because of, we're gonna have to call them.
everything did look great on this. The only thing that was disappointing to me was the hats, which they did good at like promotion. You know, more people are wearing Bulldog gear, but it was just like the
And here's
profits on it.
the one thing I will say about that. There's still some hats left, and we ended up getting, I'll say 10, but 8 or 10 hats signed by rodeo people, which I don't know who those people are. But so the intent was to try to have those for the rodeo to have them wrapped on. We have all those, they're all signed and fancy pins and all that stuff. So there will be a little bit of an overlap with the hats because the hats, there's still hats that will.
So there's still
So
So
coming
you're
back on those.
trying to raffle those at like the next,
I think we'll
events
sit on
or-
those until Days of 85.
that's what I'm.
Yeah. Because that's, so
Where you
there's,
get the most for you.
right.
Okay.
I think we at least need to write Ella a thank you for all the times that she's taken tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
Is there something that we can do for her? Because that's a job everybody hates and she is willingly doing it every game.
Yeah.
She just reads her book and loves life there. And we could, there's a lot of options we could do. We
Could she
give her
have
lifetime
supper?
pass. We could give her
We feed her supper.
supper.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do?
Concessions gives her supper for free.
Okay, good.
That's what they told me, right?
Yeah, that was what she
But
told
we
me.
could make that we could combine those so that it's like official. Give her a card or whatever. it is.
And each of
Yeah,
us
great.
sign
And
it
she-
or whatever, because.
Yeah. And she shouldn't have to pay to get into anything.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Does anybody have any questions on this? So will you do this like monthly if there's anything?
Yeah, so I can do the revenues, the expenses are now, you guys all showing on the claims. So hopefully it's split out a little easier because remember I did it by fund now.
Yep.
So unless you want me to split expenses out like this, they're gonna show on the claims. If not, then
No,
yes, I
that's
can do this. Like as we finish a fundraiser, I feel like would be the best time.
Yeah.
Once we know the revenues are gonna come in.
Sounds good.
So did we make anything off of Donkey Ball?
No. Well, like
The athletics department. Cause we split it,
400.
cause we split it into the 4 groups that participated.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
So coaches, Southeast, Sheriff's Department,
Sheriff's Department,
firefighters,
Southeast donated theirs to their
scholarship.
scholarship fund, firefighters.
Okay,
Our building, this big old awesome building, so they need that. Sheriff's Department they wanted shirts. So Amy's gonna make shirts and they're donating the rest of the school. And then, so the other piece of that is there is a concession piece in here that is, when you're looking at all of this, as far as revenues, concessions are figured into that. Yeah. So specific to Donkey Ball, there was concession revenue.
which the girls' basketball team.
Okay.
So, and yeah, and there's just been some other programs. I know junior high basketball's worked a few, and so football worked the one with me. So there's hours from that though, so plus the 25% that's off the top first.
So when you say sorry, the food that the school's been purchasing for the teams, where's that in?
That's been a
Supplies?
supply line.
Okay.
The travel
How's that
has
been
been,
working?
like to have that as part of the handbook discussion in March. It's been challenging.
For the student handbook or the?
Yeah,
Yes.
the student
And
and activity.
activities.
It's all one now.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yes.
I
It's on my
remember,
notes too, but yes. I feel like it just needs to be
Yeah.
a better process, I guess.
Okay.
it seems like kind of a
It's
hard
really
thing
daunting.
right now.
Well, and especially we did start in the middle of the year. Yeah, how we move forward is, and it's interesting that we're not the only school district that's having this discussion. I mean, I spent an hour on the phone last week with Plevna about the same thing. Oftentimes we don't think about Plevna in this mix, but about the whole food discussion, and it was kind of interesting on that side. Because we think of them as like the rich uncle living down the road that has all the money. And so how we move forward, there's a lot to think about with this because it's not just about buying food. It's, the travel piece, the restaurants, there's not a lot of good options. So how do you make the best option for our kids? Yeah, I think there's a good discussion to be had.
Right, consent agenda.
Wait, I got one more on informational before we get there. Well, I didn't add it because, I don't know, it wasn't on
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So last month was the National School Board Appreciation Month. And so we wanted to make sure and take a few minutes to say thank you to all of our board members because it is not a paid position. It's not that. And you don't have to eat it now, but there is cake over here that Brittany made and decorated that says we love our board members. And there's actually rings on there, so you can, wear those to their cake. So you can have that as soon as the board
It's like
meets.
the Super Bowl.
And then we've got some cookies over here too. These are I named them the Super Bowl was so boring. I made chocolate chip cookies. So anyway, thank you to all of you for your work, and it's a thankless job to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Stevie, I got yours.
How do you know?
Oh,
It says your name.
I actually didn't know they had names on it.
Where's the name at?
Mine's
All
Sam.
over it. Oh, it says Stevie. Right at the top.
For sure. Did you
No, I got Rena's.
I just made sure you had it. That's it. That's my test right there.
Since Lisa, I got mine.
There you go.
Oh, thanks, you can keep it.
Well, I got the right one, so I was just
Wow.
fine.
All right, thanks. Now we'll move to consent agenda. I had a question on the no page. So it would be Ecolab grade school electricity and toner that is adult ed.
Well said.
Do you just take a portion?
We take a percentage out because Missy prints all the flyers.
Okay,
of it.
I figured.
Also, did you guys see I put a backside to your fund cheat sheet?
I liked it.
So project reporters are just for Fund 384, and then there's some grant codes for the expenditure side. I roll up all of the grants into the cash balances, so like on your cash balance page, you'll only see 115 or 215, you won't see all the other numbers, but on the expenses, you'll see those codes appear.
And the football field, electricity and water and whatnot must be like the base pay during this time of year.
Yes, and I think there was a back pay on one of them.
Okay.
I had a question. Do we have a total cost for Parent Square? On how much that's going to be or annually? I seen there is
So it's on there.
2,100, but that's just onboarding.
And then there was another one.
Don't quote me. I
Okay.
think it was 5,700.
A year?
Yes, but that also includes the website platform.
Okay, and that'll be every year, which probably
Our
subject to
website.
Mm-hmm.
change.
Yes, our website. Cranston's working on transitioning to that, which,
April,
yeah, I think April 1st we'll be able to
Correct.
play live with it. Which this is gonna sound bad. It's like for our benefit, not his benefit, because he manages the website really well. But if something were to ever happen, I don't know that anybody would ever be able to put anything on the website. So it's for to ease of us being able to go, like, I can put my board meetings on right now, but just for us each being able to add things and not rely
Sure.
Fully on
so
Branson.
heavily on Branson.
How much was Remind?
Remind was
800
800.
or, yeah, right there.
So this is quite a bit more. So obviously
So what are-
adding the website, but what other benefits is there compared to?
Parent. Well, it was Remind, but then there's also, what's it called?
Parent Square.
No, you're talking Infinite Campus. You're
Infinite
talking,
Campus, because we will we use Infinite Campus
Mhm.
anymore?
I don't think we're using Infinite Campus.
What was that?
Well, we'll still have to use it for the student information side.
That's what
We
I
can
was
get rid of the
Putting it in
messenger
grades.
side. I have to have them split it out for next
I
year.
don't think anybody ever used the messenger side, did they?
We do, that's the bulletins you get right now.
That's what we get out.
It's called Shout, the old version was called Shout Point. The newest
Oh, okay.
version is called Messenger 2.0 for our side of it.
And it's, okay, I didn't realize it was connected to that.
The hope is to split the bill on and not have that as an add, I think it's an add-on feature.
So is
Not like
this-
an add-on anymore.
Out of the technology fund?
Yes, you can pay for other technology.
And this is is it the levy that we run coming
Yes.
up? So do we want to consider increasing that then with the increase, or are we maxed out at a certain amount?
We're not maxed, but it's not due yet. It'll run next year.
So we
We're
need to,
still running.
yeah, but we need to consider it for future.
Yeah, so when we look at doing those levies next year,
Yes.
Sam, typically what I do is I sit with Branson and look at all of the possible, like, when servers are up, because servers are every so many years, and when laptops are up, and what our digital things look like, because even my payroll software can get paid out of the technology fund. So
Okay.
that gets paid out of there, so does the student information system, and so him and I sat before we ran the elementary one last time, and we went through the whole spreadsheet together to figure out what we thought our expenses were gonna be, and then
Okay.
pick that dollar amount based on that. So we'll do that again, but the nice part about those levies is you're not maxed at that every year, so I think that I rolled 30,000 from last year's levy into this year.
Okay,
Like, don't quote me on that, but it's not like you have to spend it or you lose it.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Kind of like
does.
the building reserve. It's
So we
there
have-
for the rainy day when
Mhm.
everything crashes.
So we have enough money to cover it then?
Correct.
Okay.
Part of our discussions have been, there's multiple examples of this, is making sure that we have a safety net for every position that, whether it's the website or, whether it's the finance software, or whatever part of
What do
the
you think?
school that there's a backup to the backup.
Do you have backup for Brittany?
No.
In regards to Parent Square,
We've actually had a conversation about this just in the last week about making sure that that's, so that she doesn't, I mean, none of our staff members should feel like if they're gone or something, like family member is sick or something, that they can't be gone, that's not healthy, that's not okay. So officially replacing somebody or that's not, but making sure that they feel like they can at least have that time to be gone if they need to be gone.
I have some more questions about Parent Square. Does the website have informational videos for parents that they can go on there? Is there anything like that where they can learn how to navigate it
So,
or?
You're gonna get an invite, and this is everything ready and set to go to invite parents on Celebration of Learning Day.
Nice,
And
okay.
have a little station set up. I think if you guys want, I think I can maybe, does that thing still work in here? Maybe not. Like as I said, I could show you the platform. It literally, Neely calls it MySpace, I call it Facebook. It literally has a main bar on the left, and then middle is where you can post, private message. So Missy's already playing around with how she wants to do her bulletins out of there, and so it's gonna, to me, outside looking in, it's gonna be really handy because it's gonna be all in one place.
Okay. And then can parents message teachers and vice versa directly? Nice, that was something we had talked about.
You can do classroom posts, or you can do
Okay.
private messages. So they
Nice.
can even post in each of their own classrooms, or, message parents individually. So that was a big part of it. That was one of our main questions also, was being able to have that feature.
And the website, to answer your question,
Yeah.
kind of another side, We can do whatever we want with the website.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we should put a link on there.
I just think that would be nice if parents aren't able to make it or they need a refresh. Because like I feel like I struggle with Infinite Campus every time I try to log on to it.
Well, the nice part is
It's
that
probably me. But
now it's
I
probably
just
not.
like,
It's not.
So did you get your invite to parents first? Did you have that?
Mhm.
Were you able to log in?
haven't tried because my storage is
Okay.
out.
But I think, you get to reset your own password
But
now,
I'm
so
going
every
to.
time you misplace your password, have to call Misty to reset your Infinite Campus. That's not how it will be anymore.
Oh, nice.
You'll be able to forgot password and reset your own. So that'll be the nice part.
That
She
would be
get-
really nice.
People got an invitation.
She did,
Fair
because
Square.
because we tried to do the daycare.
Oh,
That's a
gotcha.
trial.
It worked.
Oh, you got yours too?
Yeah.
Well, good job. Look at you guys. That was a process trying to get that just set up.
That's a
The
good
very
small.
The very
one to
first
try.
group to just.
Mhm. Yep, got it.
Yeah,
Can you
so-
tell me what reimbursement for college is?
So that is out of the Montana Advanced Opportunities Grant, and we pay for their books. So 75% of that grant has to go into parent expenses. And so we pay for their
I
book
remember. now
upon
looking
completion,
at it.
yes.
Okay.
Upon completion of the course.
And then out of another grant was some furniture type stuff. Where's the last page? With your credit card.
Oh, that's Amy's new dream box. So with the Perkins Reserve Grant, she got this really beautiful, I don't know how to explain it, how do you explain it, Kathy? It's this traveling dream box. When you open it up, it's a sewing cabinet. So everything inside is meant specifically for like her fabric. It's got different spindles on it for all of her threads, and then like a table comes out and they can sew there. It's set up. It's a mobile sewing cabinet, and it was we wrote a Perkins Reserve Grant just for that. She was awarded it.
Awesome. So she can travel it from one room to, I know that was
Something
something
else.
that was hard for her was
Mhm.
like,
Yes.
she needed scissors, but they were in the side room and not in her.
Yeah, she has to go back and forth a lot, and so us putting things on wheels is like our new best friend.
Yep, so-
And I donated all my fabric cleanup to her.
Oh.
Yeah, she loves to go through it.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda?
No. I just have one item before we adjourn, so just let me know when I can
Go for it.
right now.
Sure.
Okay, Ms. Spencer brought up curriculum, and as a trustee, I'd be interested to see if we're able to, like, each grade or the elementary school, when the last time it was updated and looked at, especially by the board. I think that it's something that we need to do. We need to at least look at it as these tests are coming out, decide what the future is for that. So, and it's been brought up more than once at our board meetings from staff, so I would just like to know the year, where we're at, I guess, compared to other schools, compared to the state. And
I remember buying curriculum. Oh God, 5 years ago for a grade school class, right?
Reading was probably in 20, I just remember 2020.
19 or 20.
I think Katie started
It
the
was
first round
20.
of it
It
in
was COVID
19,
year 'cause
and
she was in
then,
the gym.
yeah, we added on. We can get you a curriculum, that's what we call the curriculum tracker,
Yeah.
okay,
so that we know when
Yeah.
everything's expiring, because if
Yeah.
not.
I just think that would be for information, start with information, and then we can maybe go from there, but I,
On the next, in March.
yeah,
Talking
if
about
you
all the
guys have
information stuff.
time to pull that, I would just be really interested to see and where we're at and where we need to go with that, so. That's all I have, thank you.
Is there any public comment on the consent agenda? Public comment. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Mike moved to approve the consent agenda and Sam second the motion. Is there any public comment? Public comment? Mike moved to approve the consent agenda, Sam second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I moved to adjourn.
No other business?
Before you cook. Please grab a piece of cake.
You're a
There's a lot of it.